Alright, today I'm going to be working on my 2015 Chevy. I say working on it, I'm just going to be changing the oil on it. It's pretty easy to do. I just thought I'd do a quick video in case someone needed it. It helped them out when they went to change the oil on theirs. This is the 5.3. Doesn't matter, Texas Edition, Z71, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. It's the same engine. First thing you got to do, just be sure and take off your fill cap. Right there, pretty easy. Oh, and make sure you have 8 quarts of 0W20, the oil of your choice. I'm a Castrol. Castrol is my first choice and Valvoline is my second choice. And I use the high mileage because I just broke 160,000 miles on this truck. So, and your oil filter will be a 10255. No matter what brand it is, it's going to be a 10255. It's the same number, no matter what brand you buy. So, all right, let's get this thing up in the air. We're going to have to shut that door. I'm not going to be able to get this up high enough. There we go. It'll hit the cab if I try to go too high. Gently let it down until it sets on the catches. That way you know it's stable. All right, let me get my oil drain pan and some tools. Okay, so we're underneath here. You got your oil drain plug. It's right in front of your sway bars here. And I do believe that's a 15. Yeah, that's a 15 mil. And then your oil filter is right beside it. Right here. So, first thing I'm gonna do is break this loose. Okay. It shouldn't be incredibly tight. If it's tight, I don't know, you gotta fight it a little bit, but it shouldn't be too tight. So, I'll raise my pan up here. And we are going to, I did let it run for a few minutes just to warm it up a little bit. It's not hot, it's just warm. So make sure you got your drain pan set up right, because that's going to shoot over a little bit. And I'm lucky I can just drop the nut, or the bolt, and let it fall down in here. But if you don't have to, I didn't have to drop it, I kept a hold of it. All right, 8 quarts. Let that drain for a minute. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Now it's drained down a little bit, I can get my hand up in here. And I'm always the one that changes my oil, and I was the last one to change it, so it shouldn't be too tight. As soon as I say that and I can't turn it. Let's see here. Scoot this over a little bit more, give me some room. Oh, man, I got that a little tighter than I thought I was going to. Okay, let me show you a trick. Okay, so a little trick sometimes that works is if your oil filter is on there really tight, and you don't have an oil filter wrench, you can take a screwdriver and a hammer and just poke a hole in it, and that relieves the pressure that might be up in that. Let's see if I can break that loose now. Oh, I put that on there too tight, didn't I? Okay. Sometimes that works. Not all the time, but obviously. I didn't mean to get that tight last time. I wonder why I did that. I don't usually put them on that tight, but it is what it is. It's all right. go. All right, I'm gonna let that drain for a few minutes and get all my supplies ready to go. And we'll start putting it back together. All right, so we're gonna put this back together now. I mean, you can sit and let this drip all day and you won't get all the oil out of it. So just use your own judgment. I let it sit here for about 5 minutes and it's still a little bit of a drip coming out. So it is what it is. It's not that big a deal. You're putting 8 quarts of oil in it anyway, so. All right, so take a rag, be sure and clean the surface where your oil filter is gonna go. And your new oil filter, what you're gonna do is you open one of your new bottles of oil, just stick your finger in there and you get a fresh coat of brand new oil on your O-ring, on your gasket there, on your oil filter. So once you do that, it just kind of hydrates that rubber a little bit. Be very careful when you putting this on there not to cross thread it. Get it started here. There we go. Should go on very easy, no struggle. And you snug it up. There we go. That should be good. Because you get it nice and snug, and then you start the engine, the oil pressure will help keep it tight too. So all right, there's that, and put your drain plug back in. Okay, there we go. Take a 15 mil, get it up snug, and then I usually just give it a couple little bumps like that. That's all it takes. It doesn't have to be overly tight. It's not gonna vibrate out of there. And that is it. Now we're gonna lower it back down and fill her up. I've got to hold this down. I'm gonna have to take my side steps off of there and go get them powder coated. They're really getting rusty. Ugly. Where is... That one's clean. Let me wipe it out real quick. Now I've had this truck, I don't know, almost 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years. I've changed the oil a few times in it. I know it takes 8 quarts, but I still only ever put 7 in, then start it up, let it run, let the oil pressure build back up, check the oil, and then add the 8th quart. It's been instilled with me since I got my first vehicle. That's the way I was taught to change the oil, so that's what I do. But we'll put the 5 quarts in first. All right. Put your cap back on. We're gonna go ahead and start it up for a minute. All right, that was 7 quarts. Let's see what the dipstick says. And we need, it's right at the bottom of the crosshairs. You can see, so it does take 8 quarts. I don't know. I know it takes 8 quarts. I've changed my oil, I don't know, 6 or 8 times on this thing, 2 years. Yeah, I always put the 7 in and then put the 8th one in after I start it. I'm not gonna check it again. I know it's full now with 8 quarts. Put the cap back on, and we're gonna reset the change oil light. Oop, I got some oil on my valve cover. And I'm one of those guys, I like a clean engine, so you keep it clean, you keep it wiped down, it's easier to tell when something starts leaking. Turn the key on. Hood open, I know. Change oil, dismiss. So we'll go over here. No, we don't want to reset that. Oil life, 0%. You press the over arrow and it pulls up the option to reset, and you hit check mark. And we are back at 100%. See if I can show you that. 100%. Now, yes, you can do that before you change your oil, but that's probably not the best thing to do, because then you'll forget and go twice as long before you change your oil like you're supposed to. So, fire it up. Oil pressure. I'll let the gauges do their thing. Oil pressure's good. Everything's good. All right, good for another. Let's see, I had 158,800. So I'll go ahead, say 159,000, and I went to 166.5. So that's what, 6, 7. That's about 8,000 miles, approximately. So, and that's pulling trailers and stuff like that too. So yeah, about 8 grand when you have to change it.